Welcome, everybody. I'm Travis. This is Jake, and this is our
Be a Man podcast.
All right, starting this off again with a little tidbit from my collection. I got this badass Clyde Drexler T-shirt. You can see it's got the map of the state of Oregon, some of his career highlights from the year, and it is flipping awesome.
I'm jealous.
Yes, I got to make sure he doesn't steal on his way out.
I might.
So we're talking some Western Conference here, kind of the first couple weeks, first dozen games or so, and maybe starting at the bottom, some of the crappy teams like Utah. Man, Utah is all in. They are 100% committed.
It started last season. Last off season.
Yeah, when they willfully traded, under their own free will, for Richard Jefferson and Andres Beardrins.
$24 million combined.
Took
that on.
They will get no benefit on the court from those two guys over the course of the year.
Let Favors and Millsap walk so they can do that.
No. Jefferson. Well, Favors is still there.
Oh, yeah, Jefferson. I don't really watch basketball.
Yeah. But, anyway, so they suck. They're 1-12, but they got good pieces. They got Cantor, they got Favors, they got Hayward, they got Burke, who just came back. And they're in pole position of Tankapalooza.
Yes, they are.
And I applaud you. They understand. They got nothing going this year. They got the young guys get some minutes, get some experience, and then hopefully, which guy's a Mormon?
Jabari Parker.
Yeah, and they'll probably try to get him, and
he's exactly what they need, especially since you can play Hayward at the 2.
Yeah, and it'll be a match made in heaven.
It'll be perfect.
All right. Some of these other teams, like Denver sucked.
Yeah.
Not too surprised. It's sad to see, for me, for a Blazer fan, I'm sad to see Andre Miller spend his twilight years on a shitty team like that.
Third string.
Yeah. I like to see him. I like to see him in Indiana.
Yeah, he'd be nice there. He'd
would fit in pretty well there, I think.
That's a good idea. Or Houston. I think Houston, Indiana, or Miami. Those 3 places.
I think Houston, he might not want to play as such a prima donna.
Yeah, that's true.
But, he's more old school. Like,
hey, man.
Yeah.
Catch it up, motherfucker.
But, anyway.
Well, I like Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
I'm very sad to see that how is George Karl not employed right now? Collecting that check, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great coach. He'll be able to pick his next job. So
yeah,
that's good on him. Let's see, Lakers. We talked about Kobe might be coming back before the end of the month. Hoping he doesn't come back too early. It's a severe injury, especially that late in his career.
But he is Kobe Bryant.
He is Kobe.
The Bean is the toughest guy in the league.
That's right. He still tried to play after he killed his Achilles.
He held it up with his hands. He touched it with his hands.
Seriously. Okay, I'll be real. I hated Kobe Bryant as a young person when he destroyed the Lakers. I love OG Bryant.
Oh, okay? OG Bryant is the best.
He's the only one who hates everybody. He doesn't want to team up with everybody. He wants to destroy your soul. Murder your face. And you know what? He can still do it. And that's not maybe the nicest person, but that's what makes a basketball player great.
We have not lost any faith in this guy, even though he tore his tendon.
No.
Every faith.
So, yeah, OG Bryant is going to come back. Hopefully he's going to pick up where he left off. He can use his old man moves, his jumpers, his fadeaways.
I just hope they're not rushing him out too soon, because I would hate to see Kobe Bryant go out on an injury.
Kind of like Barkley did.
Or Isaiah. Yeah. Or Larry. Damn, that list is long. Or Michael. Wait, he wasn't injured?
Yeah.
I'm just playing Michael.
Yeah. So, go Bobcats. All right. Let's talk about Anthony Davis and his, explosion this year. The dude is unreal. Everyone expected he's got this potential. But to do it, get-go this season, it's like he climbed up 5 rungs on the ladder, and he's just going nuts.
Crazy nuts.
And everyone knew his defense was going to be legit, but his offense is really advanced from what I think people expected, and he's got to be top 3 power forwards going right now.
For sure. If he were a rookie this year,
yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, he would. Even if Damian Lillard wouldn't stand a chance if this is how he was playing last year. And Damian Lillard's great. He is a phenomenal player. But, I mean, any type of big guy can give you, like, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks.
I know.
And, like, 30 minutes. I mean,
30 minutes.
Somebody, like, kill for that. So, we'll see. His team, Ryan Anderson just came back. They're still on the outside looking in from the playoffs. But I think they're a team that can definitely creep up and kind of piggyback on him. The only thing I've been thinking is they got to do something with their guards. Because I have Tyreke Evans, like, he's not a bad player by any means, but just the fit and the money for him when you're already paying max money to Eric Gordon, it's like one of those guys is going to have to go. And you think about it, if they just got Evans, maybe they're more inclined to move Gordon. And I'm thinking, this is just an idea. What if Indiana traded Granger for Gordon?
Ooh, that's a stud move.
Yeah,
like, I think that's perfect.
He went to Indiana. He went to Indiana.
He grew up in Indiana.
They're playing for a playoff team. They could just have. I mean, the one thing Indiana might have trouble with is scoring. They could have him be. They could still start Stevenson and have him be the Super Six man, just go up and get buckets.
I think it'd work out perfectly, and then you can move Drew. And I think Drew Holiday and Tyreke Evans could play well together. I think they tried to play Tyreke Evans could play 1 to 3.
Yeah.
1 not so well, but 2 and 3, it's kind of like a sliding scale. Like 1 not so well, 2 all right, 3 really good. Yeah. But you know what I mean? So I think that worked out well. And I almost feel bad for Drew Holiday. Yeah. Solid point guard. He's just lost in this mess of just crappy backcourt,
And I think, and I think that it'll be worth it to Orleans to get out of a big money deal. Basically paying Granger pretty much the same amount of money, and then you let him walk. Or maybe even do a sign trade if the team wants to sign him. So
I mean, Granger still has some left in him.
He just has some money. He needs to be, if he's not healthy. I mean, and that way they would maybe free money up before they have to extend Davis to maybe go and get someone else.
Yeah, that's totally true. And Granger's what, 27 maybe?
Yeah, he's probably the same age as Aldridge.
Okay, yeah. So he's, I mean,
if his knees good, he still have some. He should have plenty in the tank. So.
Yeah, that'd be good for.
Especially since kind of like how Grant Hill, who had those injuries, he didn't get a lot of those miles on his body. So he still has some in the tank in his late 30s. So.
And I think Granger, that's totally true. I think that's a solid trade. I think it'd work out well for both teams, and that's what they need. They also, maybe a good one would be trading for a center, because they really need a center in New Orleans right now. I don't even know what they're working with. It's that guy, Gordon, Josh Smith.
Josh Smith?
Is he still on the team? Not Josh Smith. Yeah.
What? No, they had a guy who was
his name was Smith.
Like Aaron Gray. One of those. It wasn't Jason Smith.
Jason Smith. See, I was close. I knew it was a Smith.
Yeah.
And Aaron Gray. Aaron Gray was AR over there too. I like him, the Mexican guy.
Oh, but basically the two best front court players are both power forwards, and Anthony Davis is going to get the bullshit of the minutes. It's not lion's share. Sorry, lion's share.
Yeah, well,
whatever. He's the man. Ryan Anderson. There's been a rumor. It makes so much sense. Ryan Anderson being traded to Houston for Ashik, and Ashik would, play center, hold it down, and then Ryan Anderson's be the stretch four for Dwight, so he can do his thing and he can just sit there like he did. They used to play together in Orlando. Hopefully, stretch the floor, make some threes.
It's a match made in heaven trade.
Yeah, it makes sense on both sides, but we'll see.
If they do it.
I don't know. Maybe teams are just kind of wanting to be a little patient here and see what's going on. Let's see. Who was the other center?
I think it's Aaron Gray or Ayon. Ayon? Is that his name? The Mexican guy? Gustavo.
Yeah. Not important. Moving up. Let's see. Some other teams. Phoenix has been surprising. Bledsoe's been a stud. I think you really got to be, if you're in Phoenix, you got to be thrilled that you got him for basically Jared Dudley.
Yeah, basically
Jared Dudley, he's a good player, so don't get me wrong, but...
is Gorgic, is he a...
Dragic?
Screwing all these names up. Is Dragic, is he expendable, you think, at this point?
Yeah, I think he is.
And does he have value?
I think he's got value, but, I think that Phoenix wouldn't really be that motivated to move him, because he seems to be working pretty well with Bledsoe in the backcourt, causing mismatches.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So you might just work with that.
Yeah, I think you might just work with that.
I like that they got Len. I would have liked to see McLemore a little more on that team. I think he would have been nice. But Goodwin, Archie Goodwin. That guy's going to be a name that people are going to know. They don't know him right now, but he's going to be really nice. And speaking of, Len is going to be pretty good. He just finally came back. He had a stretch fracture. And so he just started. But in his place, Miles Plumlee, who was just killing him. He was a throw-in for the Luis Scola trade, that and a draft pick. And, I mean, he's tapered off on the scoring, but he's still giving 2 blocks a game, averaging almost 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, all you can ask for a guy that you...
Especially young, they really... I wonder if they saw something in him or if he was just a throw, and then once they got him camped, like,
it worked
whoa!
out, yeah.
It's like, let's get rid of... sort of Gortat, this guy will do just fine.
I think that could be right, because I remember when they moved Gortat, you were surprised it was so quick.
Yeah, I was like...
But
yeah, they got some... Phoenix is another team that if they lose some more games, they'll be better for them on the outside in. Because if they get one more young stud with that team, they'll be a lot of trouble. They'll be really sitting pretty. But another team actually sitting out, number 9 is Minnesota, which they've had some really highs and some so they look like they've tapered off a bit. They're 4 wins out of their last 10. Kevin Love playing at MVP level. Kevin Martin scoring a bunch of points. But other than that, not really that. I mean, Rubio gets assists. He still can't shoot.
Nope.
They're a team I'm sure. I think they'll probably. I don't know, but I basically they got to work with what they got. But
I think that good trade you were talking about.
Oh yeah, I have an idea. It was Rubio for Rondo. And maybe a couple pieces, like maybe they put Derek Williams in, maybe they put Olynyk in back the other way. But like I said, every team needs some asshole on it. They need an asshole. Chris Paul, asshole, but the best point guard, and you need that. Who is a big Isaiah Thomas? Think he was an asshole?
He is an asshole. Probably Hall of Fame, the asshole of assholes.
That's right, the Mecca.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think that could he's great floor general. He gets guys easy shots. And, he's a bit of an asshole, and you need that.
And what he would do with Kevin Love would be amazing. Like, the dimes he would give Kevin Love.
Mm-hmm.
And Pekovic. Yeah, him and Pekovic would be insane. He might even hook George Steinsma up with some lobs,
Actually, I did look up Steinsma or whatever. He's actually on New Orleans now.
Oh, jeez.
I know you just make an assumption because he's white that he must play for
Minnesota.
Exactly. That's a pretty safe bet. But last year
he played for him last year. I just assumed he was still with him.
Well, also last year, if I believe, they started 5 white guys.
It blew people's minds. It was like, what is this, 1955?
And it wasn't even like, oh, Brandon Roy, he's light skinned, he looks white. No, it was 5 white guys.
Yeah. I mean, one of them was Spanish, but...
one of them was probably Russian.
Yeah, but whatever Pekovic is.
No, Karolinko and Pekovic.
Oh, and Karolinko and Pekovic.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're considered white. I guess they don't be American, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that was our white guy rant of the day.
And then Memphis 7-5. I get a feeling that we're saying they probably should have kept on Lionel Hollins.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like, that grit and grind is gone. Yeah. And I feel like he was the one that was behind that. Like, they want to do their metric stats, whatever, and I just don't know about
I think that's, to me, for basketball, that's kind of not as... it's not like it's irrelevant, but I think other things are like baseball, which is like one-on-ones. Like, I think that's way more relevant. Like
basketball's more of a unit.
Yeah, and like it goes fast. Things are just bound to like have anomalies happen and stuff. But
it's sad because it's like the way they played so blue collar up to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I just think their window's shutting. Randolph's on the wrong side of 30. They didn't get much from the wings. Scoring wise, Prince is washed up. Allen still plays deep, but he hasn't got much offense. Can't count on Mike Miller. His back will give out.
Yeah, at any time.
Yeah.
And then there's Jerry Bayless.
Yeah. Who looks like he's 40 years old.
Playing at the Y on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. But he's got the guy who's got the knee braces are this big. That he's got the wraps around his elbows.
He was the dude that was really good in high school. He's still balling.
He's got stretched 40 minutes before playing. First to 11.
He's crying about every foul.
But anyway. Okay, we got a couple Texas teams like Houston. they're one of those teams that seems imbalanced. So like they gotta make a trade or two.
They really got to figure it out.
Yeah, because they can't like have all that money locked up to 2 centers when Dwight's gonna play all the minutes. And I don't blame Ashik for being unhappy. I mean, who the hell wants to back up Dwight? I mean,
And how do they not understand that?
Yeah.
Like, how are they not like, oh yeah, of course we'll move you? It's
Yeah.
just like that's ridiculous. Like, I understand you got a Sheik because you couldn't get Dwight,
Yeah.
and then you had a chance to get Dwight, so maybe you move a Sheik.
yeah,
But if you really think about it, right now, in their starting lineup, they're pretty solidly set for the most part.
Mhm.
Because I mean, Chandler Parsons' stroke is insane.
Yeah.
James Harden, he's tapered off from last year, but he's still James Harden.
yeah.
And you know, I like the point guard situation.
Beverly,
Is little,
yeah.
with Beverly and
Lynn
Lynn
being like the super sub.
yeah, like switching it around. And then the Portland boy, Terrence Jones, he stepped into the starting lineup last week, and he went out for 24 and 12 the other day. Dropped 18 last night in the Mavs game.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I mean,
they just need to figure.
at least
it
they
out.
realize now that there's no way they can play Dwight and Ashik together.
Yeah,
But like they need to get a stretch forward. The first two guys come to mind, Ryan Anderson, and the other guy's Ilyasova.
oh, really? So that would be nice.
Because I don't think he's even playing much.
I don't think he likes being there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that they got enough guys. You know, they got Larry Sanders, they got John Henson, that they could maybe let him go
Mhm.
and try. You know. So Dallas beat Houston last night, but like Dallas doesn't scare me at all. I don't think that like in the playoff series. I mean, Monta Ellis has been playing better, but he's so streaky and up and down. Dirk is old. He's still, could still. I'm sure he could be like anybody in a game of horse, but when he gets a game, his legs might get tired, and
He needs another
yeah,
star.
he needs another guy to carry the load for him. And it's not Monta Ellis.
Not at all.
And they don't really scare me. But another team that does, that's right around them, is Golden State.
Oh, Jesus. The Splash Brothers, man.
Yeah.
Owning it. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry.
So they are legit. They would scare me to death in the playoffs. They got a really good balance. The only thing for them, I think, is injuries. Got to make sure that Bogut stays healthy and that Curry's ankles don't give out.
Yeah.
But I
Curry's-
think Iguodala is a great addition to them. And I really think that they're going to be a top 3 team.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they have the depth. I mean, in my opinion, their 5th best player is Harrison Barnes, and he will be a top 10 player in the next 4 years. I really think he has that.
Write that down.
Write that down.
You got his word. All right.
But
you heard it here first.
it was a funny thought. Last night was Steph Curry bobblehead night, and he sat out with head trauma.
Ooh.
Thought that was pretty funny.
That's right. Life imitating art.
And another thing that I heard about, it's just just a note. Steph Curry's brother Seth Curry, he's playing for his D League
Yeah.
team. I think it's the Rio Grande Vipers. They just signed Klay Thompson's brother.
Oh, man.
Splash Brothers Junior League.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Little splashers.
Little splashes. There you go.
Some other team, see, Clippers, they've been really good on offense. Doc Rivers was defensive coach, but they're giving up 105 points a game.
That's crazy. Like, he's probably in them at practice.
Yeah, like, I see, like, there's a lot of great teams, but I think they're all kind of flawed. Houston's kind of, free throw shooting. Their kind of balances off. And let's see, Golden State, I'm worried about injuries. Clippers, interior, Blake and DeAndre, they just don't seem to really be that trustworthy. Also, free throws them. Those guys.
Oh yeah, those free throws are bad. But one thing I will say about Blake is he's been shooting a lot better,
Yeah.
and I think Doc's probably gotten his behind. Probably like lit a fire in his ass.
Yeah, I'm less concerned about Blake Griffin than DeAndre, but the guy just can't. He's useless 3 feet from the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And Oklahoma City, I would think, the depth for them. San Antonio, age. So I think a lot of them are flawed. But do you want to say anything more about the Clippers?
I think other than
Chris Paul's a stud.
Yeah, Chris Paul is a stud. He just broke Magic Johnson's record for most 10-point, 10-assist games to start a season at 12.
Mm.
Probably just going to keep going. He's on my fantasy team. He's killing. He's my top pick.
Nice decision.
Oh, yeah, wise decision. And I think that the one thing about him is he's, I don't want to say complacent, but I think that Doc Rivers is the type of guy that can really get in his head and be like, all right, you're doing this, but you need to do this to really, to go. I mean, I don't think he's been in the second round with the Clippers yet, has he? Or maybe they got a second round late. No, I don't know.
I think they got to the second round once.
See, they're just so forgettable when they get to playoffs. It'll be interesting this year.
Yeah. So also another team up there is Oklahoma City, and it's the KD and Westbrook show, and everyone else.
No.
I mean, Steven Adams has been surprising.
Yeah, Steven Adams has been nice,
but you can't really depend on a rookie big man, who's not. He doesn't even go like 4 years of college. He wasn't the number one pick.
Yeah, I think he was. Oh, he went to Kansas City. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, he went to Pitt, right?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Cole Aldrich.
Yeah,
he was on it.
Yeah, he went to Kansas. But yeah, so really worry about their depth. They got nothing. They got nothing.
Yeah, but if Steve Adams, who funny, was the pick from Houston for the Harden trade, so that's that.
Sorry, Oklahoma City fans. Sorry that you had something so beautiful and so magical, and before even it was the issue, they traded one of the three guys that made your team so wonderful, and the guy they traded for walked after 1 year. So you really, Steve Adams is what you got from him. So
he would have been restricted. You could have matched anything. You could have easily cut Perkins with the amnesty clause. There's just so many options.
Yeah, you should have.
But yeah, so we'll see if Steve Adams comes along. Maybe he'll make that look a little better. But other than that, I don't see. I see that them being passed up by Golden State as the top three in the league.
Yeah, they're definitely. All the teams around them are like loading up and getting better, and they have gotten worse. I don't think there's anybody who would take their team now from their team 2 years ago when they had Harden. So, and then we can talk now. Let's talk about our beloved Portland Trail Blazers. 10-2, 8 games in a row. They've won 6 games on the road so far. They won 10 all last year. If I was a poet, I would write a poem called Ode to the Bench.
Yes.
Because, what a difference a year makes. Last year, let's see. Let's rack my brain and see if any of these guys from the bench last year are in the NBA still. Let's see. Luke Babbitt.
Nope.
Nolan Smith.
Nope.
Jared Jeffries.
Nope.
Sasha Pavlovic.
Nope. A lot of people not in the league.
And we replaced them with Mo Williams, Darrell Wright, Thomas Robinson, and all those guys have been playing great. They really fit in well with what we're doing, and plus Joe Freeland's been a big surprise.
He's almost like an addition to the team.
No, really, because what he was last year was not even the same player. It's not even can't really even compare. I mean, he's really, I don't want to say limited himself, but he's just focused on ways that he knows he can help the team, and he's really done it really well. I think this year he's learned he's hitting offensive boards well. He learns when he should go back up with it, when he should kick it out, and I think he's probably just going to get better once he gets the confidence, and then he can just go out and play instead of thinking. I think last year he's trying too hard. Let me try a spin move, and let me get.
He's went back to how he was in the Euro.
Super athletic guy just swats him a shit.
He's made Myers Leonard irrelevant.
Yeah.
And Myers Leonard, we thought he was going to be
Myers Leonard, you know what he is?
What?
He's like the new Patty Mills. He's the guy on the bench with a towel or going like 3.
Yeah, when they get the lob, he's like, oh! But do you think that maybe they could do, because I've been hearing some rumblings, that maybe they're going to run Freeland as the backup 4, and then Myers Leonard could step in as the backup 5. What do you think?
I think if Thomas Robinson plays the aggressive way he's been playing, I like what he brings, and I guess you would have some sort of flexibility because Freeland could do both. But I mean, as long as Robinson's producing, he's getting some rebounds, getting some hustle points and stuff like that, then I think he's sticking with what works. It's obviously working, but it's a long season. You never know.
Yeah, well, I wasn't talking about making Robinson out of rotation. I don't know.
Here's another big difference. I mean, if we had. Because last year when we drafted Myers, he was on pick number 11. Pick number 9 was Andre Drummond. You just think about that, 2 picks away. I mean, man, that would be worth giving up something else. But that's so close. The difference between what he's bringing, he's going to be top 5 center, and Myers Leonard, he's got a lot of skill, but he just doesn't know how to play the NBA game. So
just looks like a scared 8th grader playing varsity.
But the huge guy, like the guy who's super big, but thinks he had a growth spurt, so he thinks he's small, and he doesn't know how to play inside his body. But anyway, he's still super young, and basically you got Robin Lopez for 2 years, so you can basically see, well, Myers has got 2 years to develop, then we can make a decision, or we're going to keep re-signing Robin, or we're going to be here.
Yeah, that's a good position to be in, especially with a big guy.
So, should we talk about San Antonio?
It's business as usual. I don't think there's really much to say there. I mean,
Yeah.
the Quali, if he could step it up, I think that he needs to find his groove.
If he can make like a Paul George type leap that he made last year, maybe, because basically they're all good and they're a great team, but like players really need great like individual play guys stepping up. Duncan's great, but he's old. Parker's been hurt. Ginobili's washed up. So Kawhi Leonard, if you could really get him to,
Yeah.
But I'm not. I know people are really. I'm not as sold on him as like being like a supreme difference maker. I could see him being like almost like a better role player guy, like a better Nick Batum or.
No, yeah, I bet he could fill up stats, and the thing is just he started out really slow, and if he could find his groove, that guy could be nice,
Yeah.
And I think that Kawhi Leonard could really do that.
But I don't really want to talk about the Spurs because I hate them, and I'll never forgive Sean Elliott for the Memorial Day massacre.
Asshole.
He was out of bounds.
You were out of bounds.
It's impossible to be in bounds.
We should have let Boogie beat him up.
All right. I think the only thing you're looking forward to going forth in the next couple
I'd like to see if the Blazers can sustain their play.
Friday.
Friday against the
Chicago
Bulls. That's going to be their first test.
Mm-hmm. Because they beat up, you're supposed to beat up bad teams. They beat up bad teams, and then see if they can beat a good team at home. Because Chicago will bring the D, and we'll see if our, refined offense will.
Well, the Derrick Rose, Damian Lillard matchup, it's going to be a nice one.
Yes, it will.
So, yeah, that's really what I'm looking for right now, and just to see where Kobe is when he comes back. And
you think he's going to try to, like, drop 15. He's going to try to go, like...
Oh, that guy's shooting at least 30 times this first game.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got to go out there.
And why not? Who the hell is going to shoot on that team?
Yeah, I know. Do your thing, Kobe.
Yes.
I love you.
Mm-hmm. And that's from lifelong Blazer fans who've hated you for most of your professional
career. That's pretty true.
OG Kobe, you're the man.
Yes, you are. Well, with that said, I think that's a good way to end.
All right, I'm Travis.
I'm Jake. Be a man.